New York, freestyle, running in place, always destination, black. Park destination, name between park bench gaps, fell through, grew gaps where teeth were, miss teeth, miss name. Name is missing penis, obvious dip in waist but no penis. Name girl, waist of girl wants androgyny. Name wants sex, not body defined. Name is sex, not dictionary. Name is dick, long as in New York City black. It makes up for the distance between me and body. Picture pretty girl. I'm pretty good girl, boy. Boys like pussy, name is liking pussy. Boy sex, pussy licking name. Long girl, dick. Name is licking pussy when no one is looking and no one is home. Home is no one's name, not someone I know, except in homeless shelters. Homeless missing persons made purses go missing. Missed home. I know. Mother knew too. Homeless named us. Left home. Slept in strange places. Went from place to place until strange replaced us. But a strange boyfriend that I only knew once. Slept in his house, then replaced us. Slept in shelters, then replaced that. Slept on park benches, subway benches, hard floors. My name is broke. Hungry written on the back of my mother's hands, my body right underneath. Fragments, not a whole thing. My name broken steel. No soft vowels in train tracks. My name park bedroom. Pretending to be waiting for the next train. Electric, my name is constantly moving. Never just mine. My name once found, once charged, shock solid thing without definition, not New York ghetto girl, threadbare cornrow, not cheap thing. My name broke, no dick, body broke. Library free. I spent hours searching for definition, for asphalt name and other body. For a block in the city that doesn't mean distance I am constantly trying to make up for. Can't make up for the hungry by pressing pages beneath hands like my mother's hungry hands asking for food, berry picking this black bark body to nothing, asking and asking, hungry, asking and asking, never fed, asking and asking and asking and asking and
Dove deodorant is telling me to love my body, but I'm not thin enough to be on television.
My computer screen scrolls photos of round women.
Hashtag everyone is beautiful.
Diet pills on the sidebar.
Because my computer knows me better than my parents. I grew up on whole grain philosophy.
Strong woman, woman strong.
Still in my daydreams, I'm unhusking my skin so I have wine stems small.
Still I work out each morning to make my body hard and tight.
Keep it a secret from everyone.
Embarrassed I can't stop squeezing into a shape that isn't mine.
I'm not an idiot. I've used Photoshop. I know magazines light up women into skeletons. I could spell patriarchy by the time I was 10. I know it's just sleight of hand, but I can't stop wishing pushing myself and disappearing
I
at.
am told my body is a work of art. I feel child in museums, stupid, staring and staring, failing to see the worth. I treat you like a botched painting someone else hung on my wall. I feel sick each time I wish you different.
I'm so strong, sometimes rooms buckle under the fact of me. I don't know why I want to look breakable, stuck straight jacket in these wrong, thick limbs, this weak, thin will. I'm ashamed of being ashamed of my body, grateful to live in a now where body positivity is a movement. I hate that it's moving me further under my bed sheets.
I'm getting nowhere. Mass media prints bare ribs and thigh gaps on my retinas,
So I guess I am not sexy. Body positivity tells me real women are thick and full mountain ranges.
I'm not built like that either.
So I guess I am not a real woman. My body is still a war front. It is a flag to be seen
Or worn.
or photographed naked because that is brave and sexy.
I keep 14 tabs open on my laptop like split blue.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. The word inspiration literally means to breathe in. I am so sick of breathing in flesh. When did the word body become the period of every sentence? Image.
Love.
Positivity.
Have other meanings.
Hashtag everyone is beautiful.
To someone, yes.
But saying this over and over makes beauty a keystone of equality. There are so many better things I have in common with other people.
Like words.
Like voice.
Like the fact that we are people who have to live with ourselves every day.
Learning to love yourself is not a synonym for thinking you are pretty.
Yes, I am uncomfortable with mirrors.
But I'm also a sister,
A lover.
a daughter, a thesaurus, the hungriest mouth in your classroom, a museum of the ways he didn't break
A
me.
question when you ask for an answer.
An answer when it is never
A
appropriate.
joke that loves to tell itself.
A loud and stupid laugher, a ghost of things I cannot take back.
So call me landscape.
Call me war cry, call me sobbing about all the good things, call me woman, because I am so much more than the space I fill, and that is a fucking beautiful thing.
Your teeth, a shipwreck to my shoulder, then the swell of your palm crashed into the foaming white beggar of my body. Shaped, cut, buried, jetty of a body, shiny white mouth, please swallow me. Ghost bones, engraved, flame fish, and pound take everything. It's early enough in the morning to be still blackout. The silhouette of your body over mine drowns in the dark like the shadow of a shark sunken mattress around our fucking like wet sand hugs a footprint. Wash your entire fist into my coastline. The drawn tight red and white meat of clenching fingers could dissolve like wet ocean mud into foaming lit pink of pelvis, a seashell sinking. I want to shrink around the shape of our hunger and disappear into the warm guts of this bed. My meaty body, a braid, a Viking funeral, flame vaguely curved around this space, skin, baggage, like your whole body was a mouth tracing me in the morning. I am safe in your palm. I am whole there, underneath a breaking eyelid pulled apart by light. Eat me, please. I am lost, calm and clean, giving our hunger a home, a name in the morning. Too early to see each other's faces, hearing me, slipping through your fingers like salt water to my own open body.
According to the administration of the summer camp I teach at, Caleb exhibits dangerous behaviors and is unlikely to succeed in my class. He has been deemed a likely candidate for disciplinary outplacement.
If all you have is a hammer, every child begins to look like nails.
If you bend a nail, it becomes a trigger.
If you wait for a child to explode, they will.
Caleb is 10 years old, wears a yellow snapback like a gold crown.
If you call a child by their neighborhood, you can keep them there. If you call them dangerous, you can forget they're human.
Caleb wants to know if I'm worried people will think I'm soft because I have a heart that says mom tattooed inside my bicep. I tell him it's okay to be soft for your mother, and he agrees.
If you tell yourself a child is doomed to drown, you will not feel guilty for standing on the dock.
I have been a drowning child. Me and Caleb both come from a neighborhood that is a definition, have lived in a system that would call us anything but our names, call us single mother.
Absent father.
Call us by our neighborhood, call us
Nails.
another hungry mouth begging dangerous children, call us anything but human.
Caleb is not an isolated incident.
This is a fucking national epidemic. There are drowning children on every block of my city and they are working to keep it that way. Caleb loves M&M. His favorite color is the green of good grass. He is so much more than a statistic. I see him 5 times a week. Tell him I am proud of him every time he speaks, watch a grin take over his reluctant face. He takes off his hat, runs his fingers through the fuzz of an etch-up. I ask him if he is proud of himself. We say yes together over and over until he believes it. If he believes it, it becomes the truth.
How to write an erotica poem. Find the boy in the dim basement with the eyes like the silent belly of a forest. You could have been friends, but tonight you're in a mood for ruining something. In his room, he will be dark and more actual than imagined. He will look at you like you are unsecretly beautiful. You kiss him to hold it in. You kiss him because you don't know how to pray. You kiss him because you want this to be a form of faith. The erotica poem starts while you are undressing, at the sex of it, the meat and sweat of it, the moment you remember you are just bodies fitting unapologetically. The poem starts to get your mind off how solid you are, how sin you smell, how you are still worrying if he wants you. The poem starts when you remember you have never found God here, because you cannot be naked in front of yourself, because your thoughts are shivering in another room, waiting for your body to be finished. You detach yourself from your limbs and call it poetry. Metaphor his mouth into a homecoming, the sweat into hallelujah, the skin into a thing you could keep. You believe in words. Look how the meat of yourself turns to pomegranate. Look how you pull under his fingers like you could be natural, like every boy could stop being a weapon. You believe in words, you believe in words, you believe in words. You want so bad to be a girl who can say them out loud. Your mouth wouldn't let you say no so many times, so you cried instead. He never noticed, so you broke instead. He kept crawling inside, so you broke instead. Became a body whose author wrote herself out of the story. This is what he taught you the word love means. It is not a verb, it is a noun, object, body, you, lying underneath an animal of his want, pressing your silence into wherever feels good for him. It is the reason why you are so good at being absent, why you are always staring blankly. People tell you to get out of your head. You locked yourself in there 4 years ago and swallowed the key with an open page. The poem starts when you remember how he gave you a taste for ruining yourself. Red thing. You bust up blood fruit. You split down the spine like a good book. Got so much faith in words you can only stomach yourself in metaphor. The ending is the easiest part. This is how you disappear.
When I was younger, my mother told me we had potato picking legs. I am not sure at all what this means, except maybe something about the girth of her thighs and my ability to squat. I have always been able to use the bathroom efficiently and park bushes. Never got pee on my sneakers, so that's a plus. When I was even younger than that, I used to sit in the bathroom and watch my mother lotion up her knees. Her legs smelled like vanilla, sometimes coconut. When she was done, she would flex her calf muscles in front of our mirror, have her lips out like a supermodel, and made me laugh looking at how strong and smooth my mother was. When I was 13, my family went camping. I was raped in Massachusetts. We were in the woods making out between a pine tree and a river, then his blonde hands all over my face and chest, pulling the skin on the back of my neck like a wet rag at a dish disposal hole. My limbs make angry shapes sometimes that I confuse for bodies of water. They are really just spaces he hollowed out with his fingers. It is not like I am empty. It is just that I don't know what to do next. There is the tree he's got me pressed against, and the ground he's got me pressed against. My bathing suit is wrapped around his fist like wrecked car around a telephone pole. I did not mean to steer myself here. He is pulling himself out of his swimming suit trunks, and I am barely conscious, and I'm crying, and my fingers and feet and face are starting to tingle. The last things I remember are both my legs becoming numb. Here is this phantom limb touch. Planted in my throat, a pine branch ghost 4 years later. There is me naked, a shell of balled up flesh, a tube of skin. I like to wear short dresses because sometimes I am extremely proud of my body, but there are days when my skin is still too much of a memory to be comforted. Days when my legs are too much of that river to stop running. My mother has strong legs. I've never seen them give out on her or forget their own names. My mother tells me often that I am a temple, but I've never met a prayer more intense than my own body. My skin is still too much of an apology to ask for anything. My mother's body is breaking as she gets older. This is normal. She has never looked more beautiful. I have never looked less like her.
There is small space between my legs where my father's hands thought they could fit. My own hands had a mind to say no, but never moved, stone stuck between fear and flight. If my hands were birds, they'd probably be chicken, easily scared into fists, feather fingers, tender breast in the palm, look so good in the heat after the heat of a fire. Probably why I like to play with lighters. My hands are so good for things. I move them a lot when I talk. This makes it easier to dodge questions about him. I can press him out of the air with a roll and crack of my knuckles. On my fingers, I count all of the ways that we are different. My father would get angry often, so I don't without reason. He would say no to everything. This is why my mouth usually gives consent before I can. My father could pull apart an apple at its core and rip away all of the seeds with his bare hands. So I tell myself not to touch other people, to keep the flock at my wrists down by my sides. But worry doesn't even work for me. I have known still for minutes too long. Asked for the ache of too much movement in a body like rigor mortis. The pain of dying doesn't hurt like I thought. It is the lock of my elbows and knuckles before I can hug my grandfather, too afraid of closing my fingers around him because I might not be able to get away. I hate how my body language translates onto everyone else. I'm always struggling to fix its grammar, open the fists of my torso, let people in so that I can heal. But I am so afraid of having a touch like my father's. My mother calls me devil child, says I am just like him. I keep my hands in my pockets.
Mom, I'll pay Denzel's bail. Mom, you were the last good thing in Michigan. Mom, a grave can't stay freshly dug forever. Mom, Poppy is asleep in front of the headstone. Mom, I can't sleep here. Mom, the fish head gape of his gut like a mouth in awe is not a fear I can unlearn. Mom, Hayden is breaking again. Mom, the knife is still somewhere. Mom, the window is still broken. His ghost is still here. Mom, I'm here too. Mom, I need you. Mom, I hate every inch of me, this me. Mom, ash spreads. Ash spreads. The wind is an open sore. I'm all roots and burn. Mom, I'm burning. Mom, I'm burning. Mom, I'm burning. Mom, I'm burning. The house is a heavy memory break. My teeth are full of hollow barking laughter. Mom, we forget and call it healing. Mom, we forgive everything but ourselves. We laugh the loudest, don't we? Mom, I'm breaking. Mom, I'm in love again. Mom, I met a man twice my age. The pulse of his ring finger in my mouth made me a dead planet. Mom, Denzel is dying and I exist. Mom, I exist. I am shouting at the empty still. Mom, I'm always running. I took his hair in my fingers and said it would be okay. Mom, my tongue is rattled in the taste of it. Mom, there's a lie in my fire and I'm still burning here. Mom, this house breathes like the neck of a swamp. My teeth still feel like the knife. Mom, his blood is everywhere still. Bleach only makes it white. He's learning to walk again. I can't watch. Mom, I love you was never something we needed to say aloud. Denzel said it 6 times in the white of his bed. Mom, it's not understood anymore. Mom, the ache is too familiar. Mom, I can't do this. Mom, I can't. 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 Mom, the grave is growing over still.
I take 65 pages of annotations on a 200-page book to get the rhythm of my boyfriend's fingers off my body. There's a funny thing where my hands stop feeling like his phantoms when they hurt so bad from writing they swell up like ripe peaches. My textbooks are the only voices that sound nothing like his. I am slivered and always falling in this kaleidoscope of ways I am not enough to love him.
The additional reading keeps me burning to the wick. 4 in the morning, and I can finally fall asleep without cracking in half like a dirty wishbone. He doesn't ask before puppeting my body into his bedroom. Hands, mouth, car, hands, does not ask why I am sobbing. Only kisses at my eyes and says, I know. Tells me he would leave if he only had the strength. I want to be unconscious all of the time. Overachiever is what they call you when you forget how to be good enough at anything. It is a validating way to hate yourself. It is an addiction to the erasure of your body, to piecing it back together on a resume. Call it a resurrection. I don't remember when I stopped responding to the sound of my name. I think it got stuck in his windpipe, so I am only myself on paper. I don't remember the last time anyone told me I was worth a mouth, so I am only a voice in black and white. Got all this sorrow sucking me away. My hair is falling out. My clothes are swallowing me whole. My mouth is closed and full of canker sores. I don't remember the last time I touched anything. How is it he still hurts so bad? Just pillar of salt in this wound body. I am the hollow of his deepest wishing well. I am the regretted parts of his mother's skin. He is begging to forgive him. I am all the places he has fled from. I am valedictorian. A pluses in 11 classes lined up straight like teeth. 5s on every AP exam. Named scholarships. The senior award. If you cut the scar in the right place, no one will ever notice. My parents start speaking to me again when I hand them a fistful of Ivy acceptances like a bouquet of dandelions. We are so grateful there is something to talk about. How it is almost like I am here. Look at all these letters that say so. I hide my father's knife in my hamper, save a final date under my pulse. It is the only deadline I am happy to have missed. 2 weeks later, I tour 5 schools, meet a few hundred sour mirrors. We talk about debate tournaments and the other schools we are looking at, trade test scores like baseball cards. It's a sad and stupid rehab. This reunion of strangers who love to be outside of ourselves, that recently became the only thing we are good at. I want to spit out this arrival so bad I make my host students liquor me till I can't stand. They are impressed with the hungry, clean way I drink. They call it a good head start. It is over a year later and I have forgotten how to be sober and alone with myself. He left a long time ago, but not really. I want to be unconscious all of the time. My school pays for a therapist, so that's something. I tell her that work saved my life. She asks me what happens when there is no work left. It is summer and I don't have any work to do. Get paid too much for a job I do not do well, that I leave when I am too much to handle. I hide in a pottery studio and read poems to cry to. I ask for jobs like folding paper, the kind that let you forget the fact of your hands. I sabotage the children's puppet show because I am scared of this one 8-year-old turning into me. Stupid, I know. I want to tell her it doesn't have to be perfect. Girl, gotta learn some better things to cry over. I hide her puppets instead. My supervisors tell me they are so proud.
Dear small, scared girl, tiny bones and tight skin drawn like canvas cheek to other cheek, I'm watching you try to crawl outside your own zippered skin, fingers and mouth, gouge out entryway for breath, dear choke. Make way for exhale, dear Emily. Your name is not trauma, stop calling yourself that, dear anger. Thanks, I guess, but really, why you gotta invert everything like a skull pulled inside out? I can see the clean white of your memory a fist, each eyeball throbbing like echo. Why don't you listen? Hey, anger, spit the bare bad out like his absence is all that keeps you human. You think you are only safe when you are empty. This is not true, dear girls. I know you are still stuck in those woods, wall of trees, a dark green jaw clamped down, squeezed gut shut around each nerve. Your naked 12-year-old body trembles on his tongue of dirt. The bathing suit your mother bought for you at the beginning of the summer is wrapped around the boy's fist like wrecked car around telephone pole. He is pulling himself out of green swimming trunks. You barely conscious. You crying. I see you. When he's done with your body and crawling into the lake that cups these stupid woods like blue lips, you pick the chip tree skin from the backs of your thighs and shoulders, each one of them brown bark pieces, embarrassed to be here, embedded in the sweat of your flesh, then dislodged into the grief of your shaking palms. Hey Emily, don't you ever feel embarrassed for those places that you've been? The tops of those strong oaks will not grieve for you. So I know you're lonely. I know you ache without a witness trying to fold yourself into something whole, girl. You fraction, you break, you missing piece, bruising throat, claws to confetti me, bleed like your mother. To get to the badman's tongue with beating fist, pink pulse, make way for exhale. Find the light, eat the light, live, breathe, dear girl, please, 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 dear small, dear shaking. Your naked skin splits open like wet wood peeling apart beneath a fire. Trace a footprint of smoke out his throat. Tie yourself to the airborne ash and get the fuck out of there. You're safe now. Dear girl, dear Emily, your name is not trauma. Take your shoes off. Walk barefoot. Call yourself a hallowed earth. Let the wet ground press its mouth against each soul. Let it breathe into the firmness of both legs. Breathe back. Call yourself a light. I want to hold you in these giant arms. Thank you for helping build me. You're safe now. Come closer, girls. Come home.
Your mouth tastes like how rain can taste sometimes when things are okay. I am only okay when wrapped in the soft of you. My train is at 3:30, but I will bury myself in the soft spot of your bed skull until the streetlights come on like row after row of chipped tin. I had a dream where I was the Tin Man and you were a twister in my trailer park. I want to call you a forest fire. I want to kiss you like lightning cracks in a swimming pool, but words like love don't work on first dates or goodbyes or whatever I am. But I can burn a hole in your pillow trying to carry the way you are breathing into my sleep, which is sort of the same thing, but softer. I could call you a smoke ring. I could fall asleep with a lit cigarette and wake up completely wrapped in you. Call me a romantic. Call me a car crash. Call me by your name, please. Call me something.
The drones snored, waiting to delete a life file with a remote meteor. This is not a raw war. Could sit decades unchanged on a shelf of flesh. The drones snored. Young men told to be silent, listen, and list. Ever since the fallen tower wrote Manhattan into an aisle of lies, we are creative with reactive material. Make similes of a missile, followed our urges with a surge in Iraq, make rain in Iran, Yemen, just another enemy. Gasoline, the soul gate. Bury the Marines' remains, snug with their guns.
I was born in a den of knives, so long and so hard. That's what she said.
We won't be able to fit it all.
That's what she said. If that boy come in my yard one more damn time, I'm gonna give him a licking.
I heard Samuel L. Jackson came through.
That's what he said.
Oh my god, school was so terrible. My father came without telling me, just like yelling and shit, and so I left and missed my last 3 periods.
That's what she said.
I want to stop making noise, so I just grabbed him by the head and I beat it.
You will eat all of it, and you will like it, little mister.
That's what she said. Bring me next. That's what she said.
I got it all into my truck.
That's what she said.
Streaming of the North Atlantic.
class.
That's not what he said. Making love to you is always the best part of my day. Your face looks so stupid when you come, and I love you. That's not what she said. I hear sex in every clip of conversation, but no one ever says the word in its nakedness.
So everything is a dirty synonym, and it feels wrong to say what I want. I feel like an animal when you do me from behind. Please just look me in the eyes.
That's not what she said. Can we have more sex? That's not what she said.
I don't want to have sex right now. I still think you're beautiful.
That's not what he said. I am aching to speak out loud, so I take whatever teacher I can get. Pornography,
Song lyrics,
my sister,
my 7th grade teacher,
dirty magazine stands.
there's a library of closed books.
My labia looks nothing like the girls in porn do. I will shut the light off so you do not notice. That's not what she said.
I was too embarrassed to tell her I'm still a virgin.
That's not what he said. I have incredibly violent sexual fantasies and that terrifies me. That's not what he said. When I asked,
My teacher says there must be someone else I can talk to.
she doesn't want to get fired. The word vagina makes my father wriggle in discomfort.
Sex is not something to be terrified of. Sometimes it hurts, but sometimes it is really awesome.
That's not what my teacher said. If you get to know your body on your own, someone else will not always be teaching it to you. That's not what my mother said.
There are free health clinics with resources that can help you.
That's not what they said. It's okay to say no. That's not what they said. Sex is always bubbling under our tongues. We keep it hidden until dark,
Until it explodes and we don't know what we mean.
our fears are lodged in the meat of our throats.
And we don't even have the names for them.
Our silence is so violent that he or she or they speaking openly about sex is absurd, is uncomfortable, is a hilarious, recurring joke.
In the hallway between 3rd period English and the cafeteria, there is a sign that reads, "Remember, that girl is someone's sister." I wonder why she needs to be more than someone. My sister is not what we call a rape victim. She is a survivor. Before walking to her car, she weaves her keys into her knuckles like a row of crooked teeth. The night is something that needs to be carved. She's always ready for the men who would treat her like the hollow of a drum. I will never know what this is like. No story will make me feel how the heat of that dark room only thickened when you tried to catch your breath. Hair pulled tight in the coffin he made of your silence. I will never understand how kind you said his face was when you first said the word. Over 96% of sexual assaults are committed by someone the victim knew already. There is no other here. It is us doing this. I've had 2 friends convicted of sex crimes in the last year, and when I read the news, I didn't even feel surprised. Privilege is feeling guilt instead of fear. In the uncarved dark of a comedy club, Daniel Tosh asks how hilarious it would be if a female heckler was raped on her way home. The audience cackles red. There is no other here. My laughter, too, has been a validation. These men are not strangers. They're the same as those that line the block. My sister walks through red cackle in the drum of their voices. Nice tits. You'd be prettier if you smiled. What are you, a fucking dyke? Answer, dyke, answer. There is no other here. There is iron and red in my silence too. We all share in the guilt of what our brothers break. The victim of the Steubenville rape case was harassed on social media for ruining the promising football careers of 2 young men. I hear the same drums echo when I read the news. Nice tits, pretty girl, pretty smile, answer. Off short skirt for this neighborhood, better be careful. I wouldn't hurt you though, better be careful. Answer, dyke, answer. The day after the Tosh rape joke controversy, comedians rushed to his aid. My sister is expected to walk silently. America expects young girls to sacrifice their body for the future of their assailants. Young men in my high school are taught that a woman's worth is defined by their relationship to a man. The blood is on our hands. The blood is on our hands, our hands, our hands. How do you say it's going to be okay when it's not? How do I keep believing in anything that I cannot promise to keep you safe? I am obsessed with statistics. 1 in 4 women will be raped in their lifetime. My mother has 3 sisters. I only have 1. She taught me that my voice is a weapon. Ask yourself what side you are fighting.
My AP English teacher says,
Make yourselves comfortable.
you follow my rules or get out.
My entirely white class gives presentations on Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison.
Everyone gets an A. We are all required to read books on African American culture. Our white teacher talks about the symbolism.
Kids laugh at me, black girl in calculus, for asking questions. They say, it's funny.
She knows we're not racist. I'm called one of them in my ceramics class because I haven't paid for my SATs. I don't even know who they are. The first time I took the SATs
was to gauge how much I should study.
was the only time I could afford.
Guidance does not allow me to take lower level classes.
I pushed guidance to place me in the highest level classes I can take.
I am treated as an adult so I become one.
I am treated like a child despite the fact that I pay for everything. I'm the good kid in all of my classes. I shush others and take notes attentively. I'm expected to have straight A's by my relatives.
Anything else is less than I was raised for.
My family sees me as progress. Quick car on track to succeed.
If I don't finish college,
When I do finish college, I'll be the first in my family. I try not to be the customary black girl in class. I use full sentences and proper grammar. Sit in the front row.
I speak in class exactly as at home, even swear sometimes because that makes me forthright and edgy.
People tell me I'm too loud. Every person is a decibel I use to get louder. People tell me I'm too quiet.
I lower my voice to see how hard they'll listen.
I don't know who they're hearing. Smart girl.
Naturally, classroom extension of living room, never any trouble.
Smart girl by choice. Classroom not my house, so take my feet off the table. I don't know who they're hearing, but she isn't me.
She is benefit of doubt, check plus for unchecked homework, acceptance letter pinned to white refrigerator.
She's the outline of privilege, something I'm trying to fill in. School desk with one leg shorter than the others. Belonging is not something I can easily achieve.
Is treated as my birthright. I was born on the right side of history, the side that says
That is what hair looks like. That is what skin looks like. I was born to a history that colors me, that does not ask me questions because my answer is always wrong. I spent 12 years in advanced classes,
full of people who look like me.
full of people who misjudge me. Next year, I'm off to a capital G good school,
Full of people who look like me.
full of people who will test my endurance. Historically white college,
Not a phrase.
that part goes without saying.
My dissatisfaction proves how little I know my privilege. Complaining is both easy and wrong. This doesn't mean I can't see a problem.
I think learning is a beautiful thing.
I want people to actually look at my work.
I want people to stop scrutinizing everything I do, asking me to
Ball.
step into this role because someone has to,
Because we live in a system
with no room for questions.
asking why I got A's is not how I got into college. Asking why I got into college is not how I stay there.
Working for A's is how I got into college. Working for money is how I stay there. The work always seems to be on me. Struggle hard, but the role never fits.
Struggle hard, but the role fits perfectly. I am lucky to call myself part of the problem.
The problem calls itself me. I am supposed to be lucky.
The trick is to just walk, not think. It's easy. Leaving somewhere, never going, just leaving, especially in autumn, when everything is beautiful and sad. The only difference between days is how subtle they are. Today is a subtle day. It was raining, then it wasn't, then it was. Now the oil slick of the road just before the curve perfectly reflects the sky above it. The surfaces are almost kissing, mirroring each other naked. I'm looking so far ahead I don't see her house till it's almost behind me. Ari's house. Red brick, periwinkle blue siding. Like a woman all dressed up for a relative's cocktail party, she planned this outfit for months. Now she's in the corner pounding margaritas, realizing she only ever wanted to want to go. I never asked her, but something tells me that Ari hated Catholic high school because she wanted to go when she was 10. And generally, when the things we want at 10 actually happen, they're disastrous. And because she hung herself in the winter of her junior year.
When I am on my medication, I will not call my mother a cunt for bringing me to the hospital.
Off my medication, I am 17 and
I
cannot sleep anywhere but my mother's bed.
When I am on my medication, I will not strike the wall until my knuckles bleed.
I will not cry when I masturbate. Won't slash my wrists into a running faucet. Won't hate myself for crying so much.
When I am on my medication, I will carefully cover the scars on my chest to avoid questions I will have to lie about. I have been told that I am letting pieces of myself go. I know now forgiveness can mean letting go. When I'm on my medication, I will promise to forgive myself and mean it.
I will still cry sometimes during sex.
sex.
When I'm off my medication, sex feels like I am a bed of dirt.
The other person's body, a row of needy fingers gnawing at this rot.
I will crumble like a dirty bra in my boyfriend's bedroom,
But not let him touch me.
Sometimes sex is the way I imagine drowning would feel.
I think about dying constantly. When I'm on my medication, my body will not act on these faults. Off my medication, I will try to kill myself every 6 months like clockwork.
I am a burden on everyone I love.
There's nothing weak about protecting my family from my sickness. This medicine means it is no longer the illness's fault if they leave me.
I am so grateful for that, but I have been told that this is weakness.
Off my medication, I'm metal wedged in an electrical socket. My mother's face wilts like a cut rose at the foot of the bed. I do not feel strong enough to leave. She is begging me to eat. I am apologizing again and again.
When I am off my medication, I cannot speak. Ideas are itchy panels of color shaking like a wet dog in the corner of my mouth. Everyone looks like my rape.
I do not take my medication. I will steal the dead dog's pain pills and feel
Nothing
nothing
but
but numbness. Gut like a hole full of
Buckshot. When I'm off my medication, I cannot feel my legs, do not know where these bruises came from.
When I do not take my medication, I will start crying at my brother's perfect face. Now the whole of his sleeping head fits squarely in my palm. I will not be able to stop for days. When I'm on my medication, I will whisper in his small ear that it will be okay, that the world is swollen with beautiful things. I will believe it. When I am on my medication, my mother still has nightmares where she is pushing lips of split skin back together, but does not check for a body when she hears a thud in the attic. I will believe her when she says she is proud of how far I have come. I feel so lucky that the rope broke. I do not need to justify this to anyone. When 5 of the 10 adolescents I was hospitalized with are now corpses. When I am on my medication, I can still see how much their mothers look like my own. Do you think they are happy their children never forgave any parts of themselves?
I have been told that this is weakness.
That I have never felt stronger than the day I asked for help. I have never felt more human than the day my mother put the door back on its hinges. It is not a sacrifice to give her the space to heal.
I am scared I will become nothing more than the medicine.
I am so grateful it has given me the power to be anything at all.
My grandma drags a chair across the tiled kitchen floor, stands on it. Spraying nicotine-stained walls with Windex, she waves her sponge cigarette between thin lips, ashes on the wooden chopping board. Grandpa sits at the table, drinks an 11 a.m. Budweiser. Catches flies, releases them out the window. With the one hand he's got his brother, slurped up by a machine when he was 17 years old in a factory accident. The empty sleeve droops from his left shoulder like a wet eyelid. My grandma calls my grandpa lover boy because it's easier to say than alcoholic. He blows kisses at her ass while she scrubs tobacco skin from their walls, her hands reaching for redemption. When she's done, sits down to look at their clean slate. The kitchen is born again and it's wholly white. The mother of my first boyfriend spent an afternoon on her knees scrubbing his blood from her white tiles, 12 years old, found embedded like a fish on the kitchen floor, a pair of scissors in his teeth. I called him Snake Boy. Snake Boy bought cheap meth, pressed it into pills, sold off his ecstasy to the kids in my art class. Treats each cigarette like the second draft of a poem. On our first date, he pulls out a lighter and says, "I stole this from a gas station for you." I tell him I don't smoke. He tells me I'm missing the point. Once I told him I missed the beach, so he took me to a sandlot with a fire lit on his blanket and he gave me a seashell. Scars on his arms and chest left red zigzags on my cheek like falling asleep on a carpet. He told me he wished he could rub them off his skin with his fingers. I told him if I could, I would rub them off his skin with my mouth, but I would miss them. They sound like a braille trumpet. My floors can hear his body speak. Once he took me to his dad's tool shed, sat on a crate of magazines, chain smoking until his face ribboned out redemption like a bullet shot into a brick wall, closes his eyes, tells me he killed his younger brother's dog last summer. Her name was Jessie. Snakeboy says he loved her. Still doesn't understand why in the middle of the night he got up, threw it on a flight of stairs over and over again until her organs bruised and she split open like a lip. Says he feels so bad that he doesn't feel bad. Asks me if I think it means something. I tell him, I don't know what any of it means, but when I was half-year-old, my father didn't want to baptize me. We had a family barbecue. So my grandpa picks me up, carries me to the bathroom, locks the door. My parents were banging against it as he lowered me into the sink, them shouting how it won't even count, the water hasn't been blessed. There's nothing holy about what runs out of a faucet. He shouts back how you don't need someone to bless it if it's an emergency. There's more than one way to save somebody. Snakeboy's got the teeth that fell out of Jessie. Keeps the front tooth in his back pocket, rolls it like rosary beads in his fingers. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners. That night in the tool shed, I kiss him, open up my mouth as wide as it will go. I want to pull the bat out of him with my tongue, wipe Jesse's death off his chest with a yellow sponge like my grandma. Scrubbing nicotine breath off the kitchen walls every Sunday. Grandpa sits at the kitchen table, smoking a pack of Camels, born again in beer. He tells her that those kitchen walls are the most beautiful things he's ever seen. Lord, prepare me to be sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true.
Autumn in New Buffalo tastes like an apology. My dress clothes never seem to fit me right, and my mother wears her Sunday's best like a flag over a soldier's coffin. Legs crossed at the ankles over the one tattoo she couldn't find clothes to cover. Grandma Noel does not attend the service. Her whole body, now a special breed of cough. I remember the midnight we got the call he passed. The highway from Connecticut was endless before the dial tone. They tell me he'd have liked it if I had written his eulogy. Michigan shoved as hard as possible between the joints of my fingers when I spill a web of purple X's and scratch marks in my rainbow notebook. How well did we actually know each other? Why do I have so many words for mourn and so few for remember? At the funeral, your wedding photo still smelled like the 50s. All red paint and rounded edges. You loved her heavy as dying stars. The PA system croons, have a little talk with Jesus, heavy as sinking dust. Later, tangled in her own whispering, Grandma Noel says she wishes she could have gone blind sooner. Says she regrets sunlight whenever she misses him is a vacuum in her stomach. My mother cries an asteroid shower. I will dream of gluing pieces of her back together like porcelain splintering on a tabletop. Arms spread wide like we can hold home forever in our lungs. She still gives the New Buffalo area code without thinking. Her skin is just Michigan by another name, South Carolina, in the blood he gave us, but our clothes still smell like Connecticut when I pull into the funeral. I close my eyes into solar eclipse when they read the words I wrote for him. Sometime after Pennsylvania, but before Ohio, my grandfather's voice was our home. His molasses thick crumble in working man's hands. Grandma Noel has to sleep in their bed that night. Her hospital equipment open like an autopsy in the living room. She says, Evan, it's been so long since I slept next to him. I want his scent wrapped around my shoulders like dust. The scent of cornbread and propane was our home. He was our home. He is another piece missing. I stare at my hands as they lower his body into the ground. Wrists exposed, my dress clothes never seem to fit me right. Tie undone and awash in wander, my bare chest, a highway of scars I somehow never found the right way to show him. They now echo a fading goodbye like distant car crashes. Asleep on an air mattress somewhere I belong less every summer, but my mother holds on to it like the button of a collapsing puppet like this. This is the one thing that keeps us from falling apart. I don't know what I could possibly say to her to make this better. I dream so hard of collecting her like leaves in autumn, and it gives me a stomachache.
Grandma buys us breakfast the next morning. Grits and cornbread. Before we leave, she makes us promise we will not forget her. We assure her like sparrows. Come home.
It's for whatever you want. Alright, so
That's a 3.
yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Come on!
Paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Paper, scissors, shoot. Shoot.
Bathroom stall door tells me to go fuck myself. I gladly comply.
You might notice an E in mine. My vagina got fisted once. No one's seen the hand ever since.
Facing high school with a sense of identity. Knife to a gunfight.
My vagina is so long it is a phallic object. Suck it, Freud!
Registering to vote is a joke that ends in Hillary Clinton.
My vagina speaks parcel tongue. Enemies of the red hair, beware.
Okay, so if you're feeling out of, give it up. If you're feeling Sophie, give it up. Alright, now we got Evan No versus Lee. Alright, ready for the rock, paper, scissors? This is the most important part, guys.
Rock, paper, scissors, scissors!
What? I thought we were just gonna up it.
No, isn't it rock, paper, scissors, say shoot?
No. Zero.
I'm from New York! Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Second.
All right.
My friend says he is feeling spicy. I think he wants to be cooked.
Life hack. If you put glasses on your balls, your dick will look like a nose.
Grandma threatens to shove her foot into places I have never seen.
Voting is coming in a dumpster where all the trash is oppression.
Little Dora asks if I have seen her missing things. Fuck I look like.
My dick is Russian literature. It's long and hard and
that you didn't want and a little bit more loud?
That's a very scientific.
Yeah, super scientific. All right. Lee. Evan. I can taste that one. All right. Now for the final round, Sophie Dillon versus Evan, no? All right. Most important part. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this rock, paper, scissors? Oh, shit.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
I'll take second.
Okay. My vagina is the Vietnam War. It has hardened many men.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Me to my mom while eating Oreos.
My vagina doesn't give a shit. Actually, that's impossible.
She told me find God. Shit, I'm still just trying to find the clitoris.
My vagina is old Kanye West. She's gonna let you finish, but
Bag comes from bundle of sticks. Too wrong to be burned with witches. Metal!
All right. So, if you're feeling Sophie, give it up. If you're feeling Evan, give it up. One more time. Evan. Sophie. Sophie Dillon. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys so much for coming, for sharing that with us. Team, can I get you guys up here so they can give you guys all around the applause?
I'm gonna go ahead and just like hard style this. Get my books.
All right.
Thank you.